You are Locked On Yankees Postcast, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, we are back. Welcome. It's the Locked On Yankees Postcast for another day. We'll be with you immediately following every Yankees game. If you recall from last night, my name is Jay Berman. Happy to have you aboard. All right, Yanks lose a snooze fest to the Royals tonight. The final score was 5-0. Really was a quiet night in the Bronx. The story, as we said, the bats go silent, and a big reason why, Seth Lugo. How about that? 7 innings, does not allow a run, strikes out 10. At one point, he retired 15 in a row. As we said, double-digit strikeouts. That's 10. Felt like at many points he struck out every batter he faced. And as frustrating as this particular loss is, and it was frustrating because the bats were quiet all night, especially considering the Orioles beat the Red Sox as well tonight, and we'll get to the standings. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap. Seth Lugo, he was the best player on the field tonight, and it wasn't even close. A couple of bloop singles from Glaber, one in the first inning, bottom of the first inning. Then he had that long streak of consecutive outs registered. Austin Wells had a hit as well, and that was it. Strikeouts everywhere all night, really. So a rough night for the Yankees. They lose 5-0. Thanks for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Again, my name is Jay Berman. You can follow me on X at Jay Berman, Jayberman. If you're wondering who I am, I'm going to rattle off a list of places that you might have seen me at. WDEF, RNN, WLNY, SI.com, MLB.com, News 12 Networks, Bloomberg Radio, 1010 Wins, 880, CBS Sports Radio, and Sports Grid, just to name a few. Also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Yankees. That's Stacey Gotsulias and Brian McKeon. They handle all the stuff at Locked On Yankees. They really are the best. So follow, subscribe, and enjoy. As we said, a 5-0 win, a real ho-hum win for the Royals tonight. Yankees fall to just a half game in front of the Orioles in the division. It was a 1.5 game lead coming into tonight. Yanks, in fact, had the best record of the American League entering play tonight. 1.5 game lead over the Orioles in the AL East. Magic number entering play tonight was 9. It'll stay there. The lineup tonight, and we'll get to this in just a little bit. The lineup tonight, I'm thinking, is what we're going to see pretty much the rest of the way, and probably, assuming there are no injuries, probably the way we're going to see the lineup constituted in the playoffs as well, at least early on. Obviously, things can change in the postseason. Never know what happens. But at this point in time, if this was the week the playoffs started, Stanton's going to be in there and Verdugo is not. Just a fact, because Dominguez is going to play left field. Judge is going to play center. The DH spot's locked up by Stanton. So guys like Alex Verdugo and Trent Grisham, who were, for some reason, integral parts of the team early on, I think they're going to be relegated to the bench. We discussed that last night in regard to Verdugo. Despite the home run, the fact that they called up Dominguez, could it light a fire under Verdugo, or does it banish him to the bench? One of those two things is going to happen. We saw the home run last night. We saw the benching tonight. So it'll be very interesting to see how much Dominguez plays. And obviously the structure of the outfield. Do you want Aaron Judge playing center field every day for the next really 2 months if it goes into the World Series? Remember, the World Series goes into November once again, which seems crazy every single year, but that's a topic for another day. But again, if Dominguez is going to play left field, Judge is going to play center, and obviously Soto and right, that means you're not going to see Verdugo or Grisham at any point in time, and that's probably good news. All right, Marcus Stroman was not great tonight. He was Seth Lugo's opponent, and we'll look inside the numbers as we discuss. Stroman falls to 10-8 on the year, 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks. His ERA still north of 4. We talked a lot last night about the bullpen. And we'll talk tonight about the bullpen as well. Leiter Jr. and Meza each gave up an earned run, but some notes on the bullpen coming into tonight. Relievers, the last 4 games before tonight, opposing batters were 1 for 37. Now, the home run off Leiter Jr. tonight ended that streak. But as we said, coming into tonight, the bullpen over the last stretch has been great. 12 and a third scoreless innings from the bullpen. Again, that was coming into tonight. The home run by Pham off of Mark Leiter Jr. mid-game ended that streak. But again, Lugo and Stroman, they had faced these respective opponents back in June in Kansas City. Lugo did go 7 innings that night, but allowed 4 runs. He went 7 innings tonight, and a big bagel, did not allow any runs. He did pitch well, did Stroman, against the Royals in Kansas City in early June, but his last start before tonight was against the Rangers. 5 runs in 3 2/3 innings pitched against the Rangers, as we said in his last start. So not great from Stroman tonight. So. He needed to be great. The offense needed to be better. None of those things happened, and for that reason, the Yanks lead over the Orioles down to a half game. All right, as we mentioned, that playoff lineup, it's amazing. At least here in the Northeast, the flip has been the switch has been flipped, if you will, in regards to fall. It is now fall. Somehow went from summer to fall in just days, and it kind of has that feeling of playoff baseball, just a little bit of a nip in the air, especially at night when the sun goes down. And that had me thinking about the playoff lineup coming up. And again, we did not see Volpe, who got an unusual day off. In fact, it was his first day off since March. We did not see Stanton. The question now is, we'll see Volpe every day at short. Will we see Stanton every day at DH? Will we see Dominguez in left field every single day? Now, obviously, that makes the lineup deeper, makes the bench deeper, banishes guys like Verdugo and Grisham and Birdie to the bench. But again, this is, at this point in time, what you saw tonight, despite Lugo, this is the best Yankees lineup. Glaber at the top, then obviously Soto and Judge. Wells comfortably in that cleanup spot. Now, one note on Austin Wells. Amazingly, this point in time, he could be the American League Rookie of the Year. Not just the favorite, not just a candidate. He could be the winner. He's hitting .309 in the cleanup spot in 28 games coming in. Pretty good stuff. And the Yankees have found their cleanup hitter. So top 4 is pretty lethal there. And again, we're going to see Dominguez and we're going to see Stanton in the postseason. All right, Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt, they were your MVP battle storylines coming into at least last night. Witt did it again. He opened the scoring with a ribby single in the 3rd. Salvador Perez got him home after that, and so on and so forth. And it was a 5-0 win for the Royals. Point being, Witt and Judge struggled coming into tonight. Witt has been pretty good. Judge now make it 14 straight games without a home run. It's a drought. It's officially a drought. By the way, his career-long stretch without homering is 15 games. So he's at 14. He is 1 fewer than his record for a home run drought. All right, now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and from YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started again now through September 22nd. All right, we'll take our real quick break. And when we come back, we will discuss, as we said, the playoff lineup, the Judge home run drought, and Seth Lugo, who we got used to seeing here in New York in a Met uniform, but as a reliever. Now he's a starter. We'll get back to that in just a moment. All right, let's talk game time for a moment. One of my favorite things to do, if you know me, is to go see live events, be it a concert, be it a game, whatever. One of my most favorite things to do, without a doubt. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, we are back. Thank you for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen today. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. Host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully, is here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor, helps you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB. Available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All right, so let's reset here. My name is Jay Berman. Once again, you're watching the Locked On Yankees postcast. We'll be with you immediately following every Yankees game. Again, my name is Jay Berman. Follow me on Twitter at Jay Berman, Jayberman. And the story tonight, Seth Lugo. Frustrating night for the Yankees bats. Strikeouts left and right. In fact, Lugo had 10 of them. That's a lot. Felt like he had 40. Anyways, two relievers after Lugo combined to strike out 4 more Yankees. I've done the math. I've totaled it up. That's 14. 10, 2, and 2. 14 strikeouts for the Yankees tonight. By the way, Seth Lugo, 16-8, very much alive for an AL Cy Young. Tariq Skubal has lots to say about that, but that's, again, a topic for another day. And by the way, Lugo's ERA on the season, below 3 now, 2.94. Tommy Pham, another ex-Met, sticking it to the Yankees with a home run tonight. Bobby Witt Jr. did have a hit, his average up to 334. How good is Salvador Perez? We made mention of it last night. Again tonight, driving in his 100th run of the season. In fact, he had 2 RBIs tonight, now has 100 RBIs. As a catcher that doesn't play every day, and obviously played first base tonight, but still really amazing stuff. All right, Gleyber had the 2 hits. Austin Wells had the hit. And nothing else. As we said, 14 strikeouts. The bats, simply put, silent. Really no other way to describe the night that was. A 5-0 victory for the Royals over the Yankees. Thanks for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Gotsulias and Brian McKeon. They're the best. Follow, subscribe, and enjoy. As we mentioned, June 10th was the last time Lugo faced the Yankees. 7 innings, 4 runs. Tonight, 7 innings, no runs, and retired 17 straight Yankees before Gleyber had the second of his bloop singles to center field. Marcus Stroman, 5 runs, 3 and 2/3 innings, 5 runs in his last outing against the Texas Rangers. Tonight, a little bit better, but not much. As I take a look at the stats for Stroman, 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, did not allow a home run. Mark Leiter Jr. allowed that home run to Tommy Pham. But again, it's interesting times for the Yankees. I think the focus tonight, big picture, is obviously the lineup and the home run drought from Judge, which we know will be fine. But that's big picture after tonight's game. It was frustrating. But again, chalk it up to an ace-like performance from Seth Lugo, who forever was a middle relief guy. Really wanted to start. And by the way, he could win the Cy Young this year. His contract, amazing. 3 years, $45 million. He signed with Kansas City this past offseason. So again, 3 for $45. He's making $15 million this year. Well on his way to a top 5 finish in that American League Cy Young race. We talked about it last night, the MVP battle between Judge and Witt. And we also talked about, unfortunately, that home run drought, which is rearing its ugly head now. And admittedly, it's only been a couple of weeks. But 13 coming into tonight. Now 14 straight games for Judge without a home run. Career long, as we mentioned, 15. 15. Really remarkable stuff from Aaron Judge. All right, let's talk about the Yankees lineup, or the rubber game of 3 between the Royals and the Yankees. Cole Reagans goes for Kansas City tomorrow night. He's been excellent. Luis Gil goes for the Yankees. 13-6, 3.24 ERA. If I told you a couple of months ago that Gil was no longer the front runner for American League Rookie of the Year, but it was a Yankee, you would probably suggest that I was out of my mind. So Gil, first half of the year, Rookie of the Year in the American League. Second half of the year in the American League, probably Austin Wells. And it's probably going to lead Wells to a Rookie of the Year award win. So that's an excellent pitching matchup for what it's worth. And we don't talk about it much here on the show, but that total tomorrow night, 8.5. Royals and Yankees have the Reagans-Gil combo going, and that number is still pretty high, 8.5. Despite the fact that we don't have a home run from Aaron Judge in what feels like a year. It's only been a couple of weeks. 14 games now. 14 games. All right, we talked big picture. As we said, the lineup tonight is the lineup you'll probably see a majority of the time throughout the rest of the regular season. 17 games now to play. Yanks up a half game on the Orioles to beat the Red Sox tonight at Fenway. We'll take it a step further. It's the lineup you'll see in October. It's the lineup you should see in October. From top to bottom. Ignore tonight because tonight they stunk. But Torres, Soto, Judge, Wells, Stanton, Chisholm, Dominguez, Rizzo, Volpe. Amazing. That's your lineup. That's going to be the lineup. Be it in the wild card round, be it in the divisional round, be it the championship round, and assuming things don't change, and they always do. We saw A-Rod bat 8th in the postseason. So things could definitely change. In fact, I would suggest that they will. But right now, at the playoffs began, I'm thinking it's Torres, Soto, Judge, Wells, Stanton, Jazz, Dominguez, Rizzo, and Volpe. All right, as we said, Yanks lose the snooze fest to the Royals tonight. Final score 5-0. The story, the Yankees bats just going silent once again. Seth Lugo struck out 10. I wish I looked it up. Not an easy stat to look up and find, but there were tons of swings and misses tonight from the Yankees. Would love to know what that number is. Hit us up in the chat if you know what that number is. That would be interesting to find out. But again, we said best player on the field tonight was Seth Lugo. Wasn't even close. Glaber had 2 more hits on a light night. Glaber with 2 hits. How about that? And the combination of Judge and Soto going through a night without getting a hit, you know the Yankees aren't going to win when that happens. So that's where we are right now. Again, rubber game of 3 is tomorrow. We'll take a very quick break. We'll reset on the other side, and we will discuss everything we've been discussing tonight. But first, we got to pay some bills. All right, we are back. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. We'll have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. And all you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com, download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com. All right, once again, my name is Jay Berman. Thank you for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen today. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All right, Yanks lose 5-0. Orioles beat the Red Sox at Fenway to bounce back. I've done the math once again. and they're up a half game on the Orioles. Yanks entered play tonight with the best record in the sport, but the bats went silent. 7 innings, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts for Seth Lugo, who's really come into his own. He is now 16-8 on the season. 7 innings, as we said, 3 hits, struck out 10. By the way, didn't walk a batter. Did not issue a free pass. Stroman now 10-8. He takes the loss. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 4 Ks, 2 walks. And again, Gleyber Torres, the lone Yankee with multiple hits on the night. In fact, there were only 2 Yankees that had any hits, Torres and Austin Wells. Wells had a single. He's batting cleanup. And again, the Yankees struck out 14 times. Truly remarkable. 14 times. All right, we have to look ahead to Thursday as well when the Yankees and Red Sox kick off a series. It's amazing how things go back and forth. A couple of days ago, you would have said the Yankees would have no difficulties with the Red Sox. Red Sox are so beat up, got swept by the Mets. This could be a pushover. This could be 3 games in our pocket. But you know what? The Red Sox aren't done yet. They bounced back last night to beat the Orioles. Yes, they did lose tonight. But you know what? That's going to be tricky. Those are going to be 4 tricky games for the Yankees. Some national broadcasts as well. The Thursday night game is on Fox. The Friday night game is on Apple TV. And then the Sunday, I believe, is yes, it's a day game in the Bronx on Sunday. So very interesting 4-game series coming up for the Yankees against the Red Sox. But before we get there, Cole Reagans has to try and shut down those Yankees bats, and the Yankees will tend to Luis Heel to do the same to those Royals bats. The Yankees lose tonight. Again, final score 5-0. It was frustrating. A lot of this. A lot of that tonight with the swings and misses. Interesting times in Yankee land because it seems like 10-4 breezy victory last night. Seemed like everything was okay. It seemed like the Yankees were going to bully through the Royals this series. Didn't happen that way. I guess it's as good as your next starting pitcher, if you will. And that's Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo dominated tonight. Really was very few balls put in play. Yankees just didn't have it tonight. So it was very frustrating. By the way, we didn't mention this, but let's do that. Marcus Stroman is the Yankees nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award. So that's tremendous news for him. Really is a special honor, and he will represent the Yankees. And again, the Roberto Clemente Award goes, or at least is awarded later on this year. So we'll have to wait and see if it's him. But Marcus Stroman was pretty darn good. He wasn't Seth Lugo tonight. Again, 5-0 the final score. Yankees struck out 14 times tonight. And speaking of 14, make it 14 consecutive games that Aaron Judge is not hit a home run. What are we going to do? It's amazing. He was on pace for over 62, then 61, then 60, 59, 58. I think it's now 57. It's either 56 or 57. It comes down a little bit every single day, considering the drought, but he'll be fine. We don't need to worry about American League home run records anymore. All right. It's funny because Stroman put 2 guys on in the first inning, and I figured at that point in time, we were up for a rough night. He's been struggling in the first inning. His ERA is over 5 in the first inning this entire season. He got through it after putting 2 men on. And after he settled down after that first inning, I thought that was the worst behind us. And it really wasn't a blowout, obviously. A lot of nickel and dime stuff from the Royals, with the exception of the Pham home run. But nothing blast-worthy, if you will. Nothing high velocity. Nothing too high in the exit velo. But, it is what it is. Lugo was the best player on the field, as we said. He struck out 10. Seemed like he struck out 50. Just constant swings and misses all night from the Yankees. All right, thanks for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All right, we're going to wrap things up here. We'll be with you once again tomorrow night. The Yankees will face the Royals once again, another night game. Getaway day for the Royals, but it's a night game, so difficult spot for them. I do believe the Yankees make that call when the schedule comes out, what time they want to play their home games. No favors to the Royals tomorrow. It is what it is. Reagans is your starter for Kansas City. Heel for the Yankees. Should be fun. Again, my name is Jay Berman. This is the Locked On Yankees postcast. We'll be with you immediately following every Yankees game. Jay Berman with you no longer. We are